State's only true sports talk radio show where we focus on the teams and the topics that are important to you, the sports fan in Florida. We are Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. I'm Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. He is Kravitz, Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports media, the prodigy of production. Prime time Jaden Grimes is the executive producer, the man who puts the go in the show. We are coming to you live from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeart Radio app and the YouTube machine. And we want to hear from you throughout the course of our show. We like to communicate with our listeners. You can step into the rage cage if you dare. Just push that little red microphone at the top of the iHeart Media app and rage away. Record a message, send it in. What do we have? We have three Daytona 500 tickets left?
Yes, we have 3 tickets, so we figured we could do this really one of 3 ways. Either we could give away a pair and a single ticket, we could give away 3 single tickets, or we could give away
3 tickets.
3 tickets. And I'm not really sure what we should do. So here's what we're going to do, Mike.
Okay.
We're going to have the listeners tell us what they want, because they're going to have to leave a talkback in order to win this. And our text question today, our text/talkback question today, I'm just going to get it out there now so that people can get in. We're going to leave a whole segment for this at the end of the show, which today will be around between 5:20 and 5:30 this afternoon. If you could only have one meal to gorge yourself with before fasting, what would that meal be? We want to know what it is. Hit us up in the rage cage. You can use that as your launch point. Now, if you want to launch on anything else that we talk about, that's fine. Just tag at the end, say, I need a pair. I want 3. And we'll make a decision based on how many tickets we need to give out to the winner. So that'll be the way we do it. You just leave us a talk back. Let us know how many tickets you want. We have 3. So that can be the way that we do it. Is that simple enough?
Yeah. And thank you to our friends at Don Mealy Chevrolet and the general manager, Jason, out there, who gifted us these tickets. So we appreciate everything Don Mealy Chevrolet does for our show. Let's get to the highlights of the headlines. Back to life, back to reality for the Orlando Magic. They were riding a 3-game winning streak until last night when they went down 116-108 to the Milwaukee Bucks, stalling their momentum, entering the All-Star break. Here's some highlights.
Inside out, extra pass to Payne. He's got a clean look for 3, and he knocked it down. Des' 8th made triple of the night. He's got 31 points, and we're tied at 104. Might as well play out this possession. 9 on the shot clock. Thomas still holding. Jalen backs off. 24 seconds left. Thomas is going to raise up a 30-footer, and he got it. And that's that.
You look at a lot of things within this game. I think there's options that you can look at, but our pace in the past couple games with having the one big out there has been the advantage. That was the advantage in the last game, and it was the advantage early on in this game right now, but our ability to finish in transition after you get the stops has got to be key for us.
That's Jamal Mosley, the coach. Strangely, the Magic, one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league, made 23 pointers last night, 9 more than their season average, and still lost. Desmond Bane, you heard in the highlights, he had 31 points, made 8 threes, and the Magic still lost. The problem was Milwaukee dominated the glass, 47-30 rebounding edge. The Magic could not get enough stops down the stretch, and Cam Thomas of the Bucks, where was he like a week ago? He was on the street. The Nets cut him. How did he end up with the Bucks? Why didn't he end up with the Magic?
Well, a lot of people are asking that question. I can't answer it for you because I don't know. It seems like he's exactly what the Magic could use. Imagine getting a guy off the bench that can drop 40, who's not afraid to shoot from anywhere. I mean, he made a 3 from Lakeland last night in order to clinch that game, and that's a guy that fell right in their lap for free. They didn't even have to trade for the guy. So that's that is the kind of player I like.
What he make? Like he makes like $900,000 or something. Is that his?
It's got to be more than that.
I don't. Or maybe it was.
Well, okay, yeah, because they signed him. Right, he makes $900,000 now. He wasn't making that. He makes a lot more in terms of the buyout that he had through the Nets because he was on a decent contract. So.
Okay, but the Bucks only have to pay him $950,000 this year.
If you're asking me to explain why the Magic didn't bring him in, I have no good answer for it.
He had 4 points the first time the Magic played him. He's so hot or cold.
Yeah, but that was his first game with the team. That was his first. You can excuse that. He never played with these guys before. Then the second game, they go, "Hey, bud, yeah, you look pretty good to me. Go ahead and shoot." And he's like, "Great, you got it." I love doing that. The Magic need a guy like that can just get, even if it was streaky. There's no one is there anyone on the Magic bench that could score 30? No.
I
mean, Franz could because he's coming off the bench right now, but he's not a bench guy.
For the entire fourth quarter last night, Anthony Black was on the bench. You want to explain that one to me? Why did he not play?
I think that was injury related. I think I don't think he got benched.
Okay.
Because he was actually he was playing well. This is the funny thing about the 3-point shot is the Magic finally shoot the ball well from 3-point range, but if it sacrifices what their calling card is offensively, which is bullying teams in the paint, it's just not worth that much to this Magic team. If the 3 ball for the Magic is like the worst sort of intoxicant. It's almost worse when they make them because then they want to keep taking them. And that's all teams, the teams that go up against the Magic, they all have the same game plan. Pack the paint, make shots around the rim difficult, try not to foul them too much, and make them shoot threes. Make them fall in love with the 3. Well, once the Magic start making them, then they really fall in love. They had 26 paint points. This team should fall out of bed for 50 of those. They had 26 points in the paint last night.
By the way, Paolo Banchero, and again, obviously it's not all his fault, but what happened to him in the fourth quarter? 0 for 5. The Magic had a chance. I believe they were going to take the lead. They got a steal, I believe, and Paolo had a dunk attempt, and he misses the dunk, and that sort of was the turning point because the Bucks ran it out from there.
I think we're at a real point of transition with Paolo Banchero, and I don't know that that's going to be sorted out this season. I don't think Paolo is a negative player to your basketball team, but I think there is a perception and reality gap of what's going on right now. Paolo, internally, league-wide, he is viewed as a star-level player. He's been to an all-star game. I think he views himself as an all-star level player.
Absolutely.
As he should to this point. He's been the rookie of the year. He's gone to the all-star game. He's led the team in scoring in the playoffs. These are all things that star players do. But as this team tries to pace up, and as defenses, every year they're going to figure you out a little bit more, and they're going to make sure that they kind of weasel you into your weaknesses. I think Paolo Banchero is a guy that wants to win in isolation and is having a really hard time with that. And as the Magic want to go to a faster pace, I don't think it fits him. I do think it fits the team. It fits Jalen Suggs. It fits Franz Wagner. Those guys are playing lights out. Not last night for Franz because he's back from injury, but if we're talking about the season as a whole, can you convince Paolo Banchero that he's not the number one guy anymore? Because that might be something that needs to be visited in the future. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
College basketball last night. Don't look now, but the Florida Gator basketball team is starting to take on the look of a repeat national champion. They blow out Georgia 86-66 last night. They are now all alone atop the SEC, 18-6 overall, 9-2 in league play, and they've won 9 of their last 10 games, all but one of those victories by double-digit margins. Here's Todd Golden, the head coach, after last night's game.
I think our guys have done a really good job being mentally tough all year. We played a really tough schedule in the non-conference and lost a couple of tight games. And, I think a lot of people wanted to count us out and say you're not last year's team. And we handled that the right way. We didn't point fingers. We weren't blaming each other for the lack of success, and we just stayed the course and kept working and practicing, and we leaned into each other. And I think, over the last month and a half, we've been playing really good basketball.
The Gators have managed to do this, Kravitz. They're the worst three-point shooting team in the SEC, although they made 10 of them last night. But overall this season, they're hitting 28% of their threes. That's worse than the Magic, for crying out loud. And they're still atop the SEC.
Well, college basketball is so much about size, rebounding, second chance points, things like that.
They certainly have that.
Yeah, how about Chinyelu last night? 20 rebounds.
He's incredible.
Yeah, that translates, that and experience, that translates well to the tournament. This team's turning it on at the right time, and it looks like they might just roll through the SEC tournament on their way to the NCAA tournament. That'll be here before we know it.
Absolutely. Those are your highlights and headlines.
Up next, we have a newly formatted NBA All-Star game. Will it work? And will it work enough to make the players care? We'll talk about that next.
Man, I gotta have it. It's a one of a kind. I'm going once, going twice. I'm sold to Bianchi on the radio show. 96.9 on the dial. I know him and BK won't tell you no lies. Man, I just love those Orlando guys. Sold. Game on the radio.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Gold. That's gold. G-O-L-D. Enter it now at 969thegame.com and answer your phone if they call. Good luck.
This is the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. Every team has a franchise player, and for your home, that franchise player is Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact Windows. Fibrex material that's twice as strong as vinyl. No warping, no cracking, custom-built durability, impact resistance, energy efficiency, everything Florida demands. If energy efficiency handed out awards, these windows would be your MVP. They reduce heat transfer, they block UV rays, help your AC work harder, work smarter, not harder, especially during brutal Florida summers. And here's the play of the month. It's Renewal by Anderson's free window February. Buy 4 replacement windows or doors, get the 5th free, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months. How good is that? Offer ends February 28th, so whether you're in Central Florida, the Gulf Coast, or in Jacksonville, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613, Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets quality.
Let's chat real quick because I know a lot of you deal with this every spring and every summer. Your AC goes out at the worst possible time, right in the middle of a heat wave. You're trying to watch the game. It's your kid's birthday party, and then boom, everybody is miserable. That's why I've got Mills Air on speed dial. They've been good to me for years. They're honest. They explain what's wrong. They don't try and sell you on something that you don't absolutely need. I trust them, and I do not throw that word around lightly. So if your system's acting weird or you just want to get ahead of things, give Leon and Mills Air a call. It'll be the easiest decision you've made all year long. They've been around since 1992, and they've grown to be one of Central Florida's largest and most respected companies around. It's simple. Protect your investment. Give yourself some peace of mind in the process. Call Leon and the crew to schedule your appointment. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. The number to call, 407-277-1159, and online at millsair.com.
Accident blocking the right lane, Aloma Avenue between 1792 and I-4. Also, there's a crash blocking the right lane, I-75 northbound after County Road 48. And slow traffic already, I-4 westbound between the Beach Line and 536. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Katie Wilkins.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Score major deals on top brands at Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Find your dream mattress today. Their sleep experts are highly trained to find the right one to fit your unique needs. They make sleep easy.
Can I take your coat?
Oh, you noticed. Yeah, I found it on eBay from a seller in Vegas. Pre-loved and perfect. She listed it and jackpot. Italian leather, classic trench silhouette. And did you see the braided buckle?
hang on to your claim ticket.
Oh, I'll hang on to this forever. Have you been on eBay? There's so many finds. And I bet that diving watch would sell fast. Just saying.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
If you want your windows there and we pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Win $25,000 in new impact windows from Reese Windows. Pick up your phone and text the word TRUST right now to 20129. That's TRUST to 20129.
Rollovers, head-on collisions, hit and runs, rideshare crashes, distracted driving accidents. You name it, we've litigated it. If you've been in a crash, make it a Farah fight. Farah and Farah.
Orlando.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
This month, iHeartRadio is celebrating the stars of the 2026 Winter Games. From Afton, Minnesota, Jessie Diggins is the heartbeat of Team USA. As the most decorated American cross-country skier in history, she brings her relentless endurance and famous glitter-adorned cheeks to the trails of Italy. Whether in sprint or distance events, Diggins is known for leaving absolutely everything on the snow. She arrives in the Alps determined to add another chapter to a legacy built on grit. For more Winter Games gold, search Olympics on the iHeartRadio app.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the key melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Just because you win a Super Bowl, that doesn't mean that you automatically get vaulted into the top 5. It shouldn't work like that. It's important to learn from your mistakes. But I do think it's important to look at where we have failed in our analysis before and try and get better from it. Last year is a good example. We had Jalen Hurts sky high after winning a Super Bowl in his second appearance. It took one bad season for all of us to go, you know what? Maybe he's not actually that good. And I don't want to fall into that same trap. If Sam Darnold turns back into a pumpkin next year, and I don't want to be the guy like you are right now that overreacted 2 days after the Super Bowl and had him in the top 5.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeart Radio app. Dolphins play here. Catch every game right here on 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeart Radio app.
Hey, this is former Daytona 500 winner Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Ricky Stenhouse has won the Daytona 500. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Daytona 500 winner. Go!
And your drive just got better with Bianchi and Kravitz.
I hope Ricky Stenhouse wins the Daytona 500 on Sunday. The Bulldog will be there. Hopefully it doesn't rain. And we have three tickets to the Daytona 500 to give away. Compliments of our friends at Don Mealy Chevrolet. The way you win those tickets, by the way, get into the Rage Cage and tell us on this Fat Thursday, which is the day right before Lent, if you could only have one meal to gorge yourself on before fasting, what would that meal be and why? Tell us why. Give us a little personal story. Okay? All right. The 2026 NBA All-Star Game coming up this weekend. New format. USA versus the world. A round-robin tournament. It's moving away from the traditional East versus West. And what was that other stupid idea they had? The captain's draft.
Team idea. Curry, Team LeBron.
Yeah. This year's event involves three teams. Three teams of All-Stars, all right? There's USA Stars, USA Stripes, and the World Team. So you have two USA teams, one international team. They're going to play a round robin for the first three games, and then the two teams with the best round robin records will go into the fourth game. And all these games are going to be one quarter, all right? And that's going to be the All-Star Game format this weekend. I love it. I've been advocating for this for years and years and years, but there are still going to be skeptics, of course. In fact, Kevin Durant joked on Wednesday that he's playing on the, quote, old head squad, all right, alongside LeBron James, Steph Curry, who's not going to play, by the way, Kawhi Leonard, and older players like that. He also laughed off the notion that the European team will play harder than the U.S. players. Listen.
Think the old heads will compete and try to win the whole tournament here?
You should ask the Europeans if the world team if they're going to compete. I mean, because we look at Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic now. Let's go back and look at what they do in the All-Star game. Is that competition? So we haven't questioned what they've been doing, but we're going to question the old heads and the Americans. But these two dudes out there, Luka and Jokic, they don't care about the game at all. These dudes be laying on the floor, they shoot from half court, but you got to worry about the old heads playing hard. I can read between the lines, bro. And I just think a lot of times, I'm just saying that I can read between the lines. And it's not just about you. It's just a overall topic that everybody has just been talking about. You just happen to ask me that question.
That is a good point.
It's a great point.
It is a good point that, like Luka and Jokic bust their ass during the All-Star game. No, they don't either. All right. But that was when they were all together. Now they've separated them. International team versus the world. And don't kid yourself. Just the fact, Kravitz, that they are talking about whether we're going to play hard or not, to me, that means they're going to play hard. In fact, Jamal Murray said the other day, he's going to play hard. Listen.
Yeah, I really kind of lost interest in All-Star just watching whatever they're doing out there. It's just like, I'd rather go vacation if that's the basketball we're going to be playing, you know what I'm saying? I'm down to play one-on-one. I don't care. I'm just a competitor, right? So I would like to play. I know Wembanyama will play. I know Giannis will play if he were to. So I want to be one of those guys that's known as somebody who's going to play hard every time he steps on the court and not just half-ass it.
Kravitz, I think they're going to play hard. I do. In fact, I'm looking forward. This is the first time I've looked forward to an All-Star game in years.
Okay, couple of thoughts here. One, okay. I completely agree with Kevin Durant. I thought it was he made a very poignant point, and sometimes when Kevin Durant does that, he comes across very salty, and I thought he was quite friendly in his delivery. So perhaps you caught Kevin Durant on one of his good days there. But I think there's a lot of revisionist history when it comes to the All-Star game. I went back just to double check. We all romanticize Kobe Bryant because he's not with us anymore, and his legacy lives on, and he's one of the toughest, fiercest competitors ever. I went back to the 2016 All-Star game. He was a part of that, and these guys were loafing it the whole time. And Kobe Bryant was out there too. So this isn't a LeBron problem. This isn't a Kevin Durant problem. This has become a league-wide issue. And I thought that if Kobe was also not trying that hard and the internationals were not trying that hard, I think sometimes the finger is pointed in the wrong direction. That's one. Two, the idea of USA versus world clearly came from what the NHL did with their nation's idea. The difference between that and this is pretty obvious. Those players were representing their country. This idea that you have international players going, I take pride in being from somewhere else. That's it. That's what they're playing for. They're not playing for their flag. They're playing for not being American. That's not enough.
No. They're playing. No, you're wrong there. You are absolutely wrong. They're playing for their style of basketball. They're playing for European basketball. That's what they're playing for. Just that would be like saying the European Ryder Cup team doesn't care because they're not playing for their country. Damn right they care. They want to beat the.
At least they're playing for their continent. So I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander isn't playing, but Jamal Murray is. Jamal Murray's playing for European pride. He's from Canada, like he's Canadian.
No,
what does that have to do with being from Serbia?
Because
the Canadians and the Serbians now fighting for world pride.
Here's why: because everybody always, Europeans hear it all the time, especially because the Americans always dominate the Olympics. The NBA, the American basketball players are the best. They're superior. They win the dream team. They win the Olympics every year and pound everybody. Now this is their chance to say, you know what? We'll see how good the Americans are when it's mano a mano, Europeans versus the Americans. And the Americans are going to play hard, too.
I'm sure that Karl Anthony Towns is fired up to represent Russia, the Ukraine, and, where is he from? I think he's got relatives in the Bahamas. Also,
I think he's from Latvia.
You know who's been added to the world team? Norman Powell. You know where he's from? San Diego. Like, this is a joke, okay? Now,
What do you mean he's not like a international? Why is he on the world team?
Because they've run out of spots. I think they have to replace players.
Really?
Yes.
That's
this
ridiculous.
idea, if you just
know that
Norman Powell is playing on the world team. He went to UCLA. All right, I think I won this one. We'll bring it back later on in the show.
That disappoints me. That disappoints me.
Just take your L. Just take your L and move on. Game On continues after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
If Norman Powell's playing on the international team, I take back everything I just said. Okay. This is the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi, letting you know it's game day at Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont, where they've been winning for more than 50 years. This dealership was founded by Don Mealy himself after he packed up his family in Maryland in 1975 and moved to Central Florida with a dream. Fast forward to today, and that legacy is still rolling strong under his son, Jay, who believes in doing business the right way. So much so that he gives customers his own personal email address. And right now, the scoreboard is lit up, baby. You can score 3.9% APR for 60 months on a brand new Chevy Silverado or get up to $5,000 in bonus cash. You need a family MVP? How about the Chevy Equinox SUV? Delivers 3.9% APR for 60 months and no payments for 90 days. And earlier this week, I was talking to Jason, the GM. He said, Bulldog, tell your listeners they can get up to $15,000 off Equinox EVs with over 60 in stock. Visit Don Mealy Chevrolet today or shop online at donmealychevy.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
And the whole quote unquote loyalty thing is, I think it's overrated. You know, I think this is a business at the end of the day, and it's a lot of money involved and a lot of decisions that has to be made. You know what I mean? So, you know, like if a player isn't producing, or if you don't see him in the future, or, you know, front office, some of them have to do like a job and want to keep their job, you know, so they gotta feel like they got to do what's best for, you know, to keep their job, and they trade players. Or if a guy isn't happy and he wants to be traded to somewhere else, then it's a problem. It's just so many different dynamics that go into it. This is a business at the end of the day. So, like, you know, not even just NBA, but like people that have normal jobs have those same problems. It's just not magnified. You know what I mean? So, for me, it's always about like, I don't lose focus of you know, trying to compete for a championship, and then financially, you know, making sure that my family is taken care of. You know what I mean? Because I'm very smart, and I've sacrificed a lot. You know what I mean? Financially, like, which I don't get credit. I don't get talked about, but I'm which I don't get credit. You know what I mean? Financially, like, and I've sacrificed a lot.
Magic down three with the rock. Bane got by one defender. Down three with the rock. Bane got by one defender. Attacking Kuzma. Flipped it up and in. Bane ends up in a heat. No whistle, but we will get a timeout. Magic back within one. 3:56 remaining. Timeout. Kuzma Bain got by one defender. Attacking Kuzma. Flipped it up and in. Bain.
And there was no interest. He was appalled, Scott, with what was happening at Nebraska. And I had to get through to Matt to get it to Scott that those days are over. I'm here. And I had to. And there was no interest. He was appalled, Scott, with what was happening at Nebraska.
This is Jalen Suggs of the Orlando Magic. They say it pays to listen to Game On. How much are we talking? Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
2 days away from Valentine's Day, and you can get ready for V-Day with a free premium service from Hammer & Nails Grooming Shop for Guys. Come to any of their 4 Hammer & Nails locations in Central Florida. Get a premium haircut, a premium shave, a manicure, pedicure, just in time for Valentine's Day. You don't want to look rough around the edges on Valentine's Day, okay? Primp yourself properly for that love in your life. Go check out all of their premium services at hammerandnailsgrooming.com. You got something on your mind, Mike?
Yeah, I'm back to saying that this will be a highly competitive all-star game. You brought up Norman Powell. He's not even an international player. He's from San Diego. He may be from San Diego and playing on the international team, but his parents are both Jamaican. He's of Jamaican descent. All right. He takes great pride in his Jamaican descent. He is actually on the Jamaican men's national basketball team for the upcoming Basketball World Cup. He is Jamaican deep down in his soul. That makes him enough of an international player that he qualifies.
I cannot believe.
Jamaican descent.
We just had a 7-minute commercial break, and all you came up with was
Jamaican
his
descent.
parents are Jamaican.
He loves him some Bob Marley, too.
Norman Powell's parents are Jamaican, therefore everyone's trying hard. Now, here's the thing.
He's playing on the Jamaican World Cup team.
Taking great pride in that Jamaican style of basketball, just like the Europeans. Your argument makes no sense, Mike. Here's where I do think they will try a little bit harder. I think there's 2 things that are going to there are 3 things that are going to make this game more competitive. 1, they have been called out now by the league. They've been called out by fans for over 10 years, but the league finally said, enough of this crap. You guys need to try hard. It's been a talking point among Adam Silver, and he changed the format because of this. They did the other stuff to be cute. This was done to make these players try hard. So that's step 1. They've been called out by the league. Step 2 is you do go as hard as the top star plays. And that is where LeBron and KD and even the great Kobe Bryant have been problematic to the All-Star game over the years. They, at the top level, didn't try that hard, so everybody beneath them also didn't care. Victor Wembanyama is now the face of the NBA, like it or not. That guy tried hard. He was the only one that tried last year in the All-Star game.
Not according to KV. Or KD, I'm sorry.
He did. If he goes all out, then I think there will be a ripple effect, whereas last year there wasn't as much of a ripple effect. So that's 2. And the third thing, and this is by far the most impactful, is the format change to the round-robin tournament style. The most competitive thing that happens All-Star weekend, and it's been like this for years, is the Rising Stars Challenge. And the reason it's competitive is because those are young tryhards, but also because they have a format where if you win the game, you get to go play in the next game, and there's a last place team. Nobody wants to be last, and there's a championship. They have basically copy and pasted that format for the World versus USA. I think the players try hard because they're finally embarrassed, and they've finally formatted this thing properly. I don't think it has anything to do with United States versus the world.
Oh, you are so wrong. Mark my words. Mark my words. Come Monday morning, when we're on the air, come Monday morning, we'll all be talking about, wow, what a great All-Star game. What a revelation this was by the NBA to make it the world versus the United States of America.
But that's where I think it just comes down to perception, because what I'm saying is I think they're going to try harder too. I just don't think it has anything to do with international pride or American pride. I think it's just because they're embarrassed and the top star is going to try, and they finally formatted this thing right. I think if they formatted it this way previously, even with the Team LeBron and Team Curry and all of that, I think players would have tried harder than they did.
Now we're going to have to agree to disagree.
There's also going to be a lot of wiggle room in there for what trying hard actually looks like. Because you can try harder than they've tried in the All-Star game over the last decade, and still it's not going to look that competitive because they've just been kind of standing around and throwing alley-oops to each other and trying logo threes. So they've got a lot of room to grow here. Our text question, Fat Thursday idea, if you could have one meal to gorge yourself on before fasting, what would it be and why? Text in. Also hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback. That Talkback is how you can win Daytona 500 tickets. Make sure that if you leave a Talkback, you tell us how many tickets you need, up to 3. We will tell you our answers when we come back after this.
Bianchi and Kravitz.
This is your Tools Ace Hardware assist of the night. DB3 going right at those Milwaukee Bucks.
Bane got by one defender, attacking Kuzma, flipped it up and in. Bane ends up in a heat, no whistle, but we will get a timeout.
If you're gearing up for game day, Tools Ace is your MVP for grilling greatness. From Big Green Egg to Traeger, they've got everything you need to fire up the flavor. 14 Central Florida locations, including their brand new store in downtown Windermere. Tools Ace is your neighborhood home maintenance expert, the helpful place every night and your best stop before the game. Go to toolsacehardware.com and go Magic.
This is the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi, letting you know it's game day, and Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont has been winning for more than 50 years. This dealership was founded by Don Mealy himself after he packed up his family in Maryland in 1975 and moved to Central Florida with a dream. Fast forward to today, and that legacy is still rolling strong under his son Jay, who believes in doing business the right way. So much so he gives customers his own personal email address. And right now, the scoreboard is lit up. You can score 3.9% APR APR for 60 months on a brand new Chevy Silverado, or get up to $5,000 in bonus cash. Need a family MVP? The Chevy Equinox SUV delivers 3.9% APR for 60 months and no payments for 90 days. And I was talking to Jason, the GM, the other day, and he said, Bulldog, tell your listeners they can get up to $15,000 off Equinox EVs with over 60 in stock. Visit Don Mealy Chevrolet today or shop online at donmealychevy.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Couple of accidents slowing things down already this afternoon. I-4 westbound before Parr Street. Center.
We should do the NBA draft lottery at the All-Star break. Maybe that sounds kind of crazy, but here's what that accomplishes. First of all, it improves All-Star weekend because you now have an actual meaningful event that is being added to the slate. Much more importantly, though, it completely eliminates any incentive to suck after the All-Star break, which is when the most egregious tanking takes place. It wraps up all this nonsense, all this tankathon, before the final third of the season. So if you just suck from day one of the year to the All-Star break, we reward you for that because you legitimately suck, and we do want the teams that legitimately suck to get the best picks. But if we determine your draft slot by the All-Star break, we aren't going to have the Wizards sitting everybody. We should do, it improves All-Star weekend because you now have an actual meaningful event that is being added to the slate. Much more importantly, though, it completely eliminates any incentive to suck after the All-Star break, which is when the most egregious tanking,
And I said, I'm not. And I said, I'm not scared of a germ. You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats. And I know this disease will kill me. Right. Like if I don't.
We should do the.
And I said, I'm not scared.
I'm told.
I love Aaron Glenn.
How would you fix the game on?
How old are you now?
The Deep Undercard featuring undefeated prospects and pro debuts. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or at KareemRoyale.com/boxing.
Score major deals on top brands at Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Find your dream mattress today. Their sleep experts are highly trained to find the right one to fit your unique needs. They make sleep easy.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Sports lives on the iHeart Radio app, the official audio home of NBC's coverage of the Milan Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. Fox Sports Radio, ESPN, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, and iHeart is the home of the NFL Podcast Network. Just search sports on the free iHeart Radio app and listen now.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
I would say that it's more of an advantage being coached by the top coaches in college basketball than it is to be coached by those that are coaching G League squads. So where's the level of unfairness within this? I'm having a hard time finding that.
Because the European players haven't played college. Charles Bediako played college basketball, decided to go pro, and now 3 years later wants to come back to college. Why? Because he can make more money in college basketball than he can being a G League player, because he's obviously not good enough to make an NBA roster.
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeart Radio app. WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. Welcome back to the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Got a nice 4-day weekend in front of us. Going to be off the air tomorrow and on Monday. I'm sure that we will receive nothing but kind remarks from everybody on our Gameheads Facebook page for that. You can check out the Orlando Valkyries. Great product. Go support it. Scoop up some tickets. Be listening for info over the next couple of weeks of how you can be part of our Gameheads section. The next match, 10 days away, February 22nd, Sunday at 4 p.m. You want to scoop up tickets for yourself? Go to provolleyball.com. Our text question today, text and talkback question today. If you want to win Daytona 500 tickets, you got to leave us a talkback and tell us how many tickets you need within that talkback as well. We have a grand total of 3 left, so that's the max. Minimum would be 1, obviously. The question is a Fat Thursday idea that Bianchi sent over to us this morning, and I quite like it. If you could gorge yourself on one meal before fasting before Lent, what would that meal be and why? Mike, I know that you've put a lot of thought into this, so would you like to get us started with the gorge yourself conversation, which is going to be tough for me because I am in the midst of a fast between lunch and dinner.
Well, I didn't need to put a lot of thought about this. My late mother, the great Helen Bianchi, when I was a kid, she used to fry up these not big, thick pork chops, but little skinny pork chops. Little skinny pork chops, and she would fry up those pork chops with some mashed potatoes, and then she used to make this spinach with garlic, and she'd put some spinach with garlic on your plate to get some greens and some hot peppers. She put some the banana peppers you get at Publix, all right? She put some banana peppers on there, and she'd make that for me, and I could eat like 10 or 15 of those little skinny pork chops with the spinach and the mashed potatoes, and then to top it off, she used to make a Toll House pie. It was like a chocolate chip pie. Oh, when that would come out of the oven, oh, was it good. I miss Helen's little skinny pork.
Well, one of my great life regrets is that I didn't get to meet Helen. I have so many questions for her. So many questions for Helen. So little time. R.I.P. to Bianchi's mama. Mine's pretty easy as well. There's nothing that means more to me week to week than steak night with the Kravitzes. I get on the grill. It's one of them very few manly things that I do, Mike, is I fire up the grill. I crack open a cold one, and I'm out there. It's just me, meat, beer, and the fire out on the back patio, and I'm cooking up. I don't go cheap. I go fillets and then Mallory's cooking macaroni and cheese and green beans in the kitchen, and then we slap them together on the plate. My kid loves steak too. Obviously, he likes mac and cheese because he's a kid. And then we eat, we drink, and we are merry. And then the best part of it, though, Mike, I know you'll appreciate this, is before I take the steak inside, when it's just me, the fire, the meat, and the beer.
You gotta cut a little bit off.
Right off of the edge, that charred fat.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's the best. It's the best bite.
Fat. It's marble.
Yeah, that's right. They class it up with the marble. So I would gorge myself on that. You know, if it's right before a big fast, maybe I would just double up the steak size. Everything else good the way that it is. Let's go to the talk back. Charles is standing by.
Happy Thursday, guys. Love the question. Getting hungry just thinking about it. For me, if I had one last meal before fasting.
Charles get nervous?
Some carne asada street tacos.
What? Oh, there's
There's
back.
a place called Las Caretas in Winter Park, close to where we live, and it's kind of been there for us for all these big things. If I could get 2 tickets, I'll bring you some, Mike.
Okay, now I think what happened is, if I had to guess, I think Charles was talking to us, got in his car, and the Bluetooth connected in the middle of the talkback. That's what that sounded like. That is what that sounded like. But he
wanted.
That's gonna be hard to top because he offered food with his.
Right.
All I heard was carne and something about tacos, and I'm in.
He might need to call back.
All right, Charles, give us another one, nice and clean all the way through without the Bluetooth connecting. You've got a real shot at this. What about Duke?
A medium well. Filet mignon. I need 3.
Wait, give it to me one more time.
A medium well. Filet mignon. I need 3.
Filet mignon.
He gets points taken off for having a filet mignon medium well. I mean, come on, it's got to be medium rare. You don't burn a filet mignon. Does he also put ketchup on it as well? Huh? Does he put ketchup on his filet mignon?
Lame. Hey, Duke, here's the thing. I need side dishes, too. You're not just going to eat a steak by itself. What's on the side? We're gorging ourselves. It's just, hey, you're not going to eat for 24 hours. You're just going to shove meat in your mouth?
If he had enough filet mignons, that's what I would do. Who needs the side dishes when you got filet mignon?
Yeah, that's not a bad point. Let's see. Somebody said my last dinner on Sunday before I fast is catfish, hush puppies, and coleslaw. Good old Southern cooking while watching the good old boys race out in Daytona. That's not bad.
Oh.
That is a fine submission. Jaden, what about you? Would it be like you just turned 21, so you either your answer is going to be hard liquor or chicken nuggets and mac and cheese?
Hard liquor is a great answer, but my mom used to do soul food Sundays. She'd make a bunch of food. Everyone would just come in the house. So anything from soul food Sundays, I will happily take.
Okay.
I thought Jason was going to say
Jason.
Jaden. I thought Jaden was going to say a Happy Meal.
that won't fill me up.
But you do get a toy with it, though. So
now I'm intrigued.
The toy's pretty good right now. It's like a McDonald's. So I always know what the toy is now because I have a kid. It's like a McDonald's food item that's transformed. So it's like a French fries transforms into a robot.
Oh, that's pretty cool. It's like Transformers.
See, he wants, give me chicken. Yeah, Jaden's like, give me the chicken nuggets and some applesauce and a chocolate milk, please. That will be all in on that. Text in 50857. Also hit us up on the iHeartRadio Talkback if you want to be in the running. Some strong contenders so far for those Daytona 500 tickets. I had an epiphany yesterday, and I will share it with you in 60 seconds.
local, in your face, and bald. Very bald. Let's send you to the studio for the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Hit us up on the iHeart Radio Talkback. We call that the Rage Cage on this show. Welcome back to Game On. Streaming live on the iHeart Radio app. You can also find us terrestrially in Orlando, Jacksonville, and Tallahassee. I think we have reached the peak of something, and I am hoping that the bubble pops in the near future.
What?
I came to this epiphany yesterday as I am mindlessly thumbing through Twitter, and I swear every other post was some dumb clip of some dumb podcast. And this comes from somebody who is now making a nice, healthy living off of being on podcasts. The reason why I feel like I can say this and not be a total hypocrite is that the podcasts that I do serve a very specific purpose. I am trying to give people betting advice. Whether or not people choose to take it or think it's a good idea to take it, that's up to them. But I'm providing calling it a service would probably be a stretch, but there's at least there's a direct reason for going on air, putting it out there, and then there's an actual piece at the end of it. A lot of these podcasts are just famous people that just want to hear the sound of their own voice. And we've got to be on the cusp of this thing bursting here. You've heard people say, everybody's got a podcast. It's kind of true. According to a quick Google search, as of early 2026, there are over 4.5 million registered podcasts and approximately 190 million individual episodes. And now it's beyond just, hey, by the way, there's a podcast out there if you want to go listen to it. Everybody's doing the same thing. We do it too to promote ourselves. They clip it, your best little moments, and you put it out there on social media. And now it has infiltrated anywhere you look. And if you don't believe me that we have reached the tipping point, I'm going to air a couple of clips for you, and you tell me if you also reach the same conclusion. These are all from the last 24 hours. I did not have to go deep sea fishing to find these, Mike. These were all found in the shallow end of the pool. So let's get to it. Are there too many podcasts? Episode 1. We aired this one yesterday, so this will just kind of grease the wheels. This is Logan Paul and Tom Brady arguing about their athletic skills.
I'm told that I'm being flown out to Saudi Arabia to compete in a Fanatics flag football game with you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually a little worried for you because I know
for me.
Well, you're a good athlete, but you're like
no.
These guys are another level. So,
I am the highest level. I am the level.
No, you're not the level.
I am the level.
You're a good athlete, but honestly, when I'm thinking of Saquon Barkley and I'm thinking of like
can Saquon
Odell
Barkley
Beckham and Justin Jefferson,
a flip off the top rope?
Have you not
180
seen him
moonsault
jump
off the top
over
rope
someone's
onto
head?
LA
It's
Knight?
cute. It's a great. I love WWE. It's very cute. But honestly, this is like real football. This is real competition.
Okay, so what was the point of that? Two guys that wanted to hear the sound of their own voice. Let's move on to.
Yeah, but at least it was Tom Brady. At least
look. This is the thing. This is what is being masqueraded as good content is because you have big names. You think that it's worthy of a listen. What about that? Other than there was a little bit of drama in there, what are you gaining from this? Other than it's on, which I just don't think is a good enough reason. So this is now we will continue this theme of what exactly are you gaining from this as a listener? This is Bussin' with the Boys talking to Christian McCaffrey.
How old are you now?
29.
When these injuries happen, how frustrating is it for you? Because when they were kind of piling up and popping up last year, it's almost like universally like, okay, he's getting a little bit older, white running back. Are we seeing? That's with age.
You know what it has to do with. Come on. Like, you're not supposed to be here, man.
Okay, awesome. That's fun. Let's continue. Maybe you're okay. Well, Christian McCaffrey is like the best running back in the NFL, so that's kind of cool. Here's Nick Wright, who has a podcast talking to Bill Simmons on Bill Simmons' podcast.
How would you fix the game on Sunday?
Well,
is it fixable? Because I don't think it is.
It's fixable in 4 years if your guy Con Knipple continues on this trajectory. And we just have to say, you know what? PC headlines be damned.
I know where you're going.
White guys versus black guys.
Okay, that's enough.
Good Lord.
That was a part of their, and that goes on for much longer, by the way. Nick Wright fixing the All-Star game, spending time on this via podcast.
White guys versus black?
Yeah.
Versus black guys. Okay.
You know what I never thought to myself I needed to hear is a conversation between Derek Carr and his brother David Carr, but don't worry, there's a podcast for it. It's called Homegrown.
I love Aaron Glenn.
I love
Glenn's
Aaron
a good
Glenn.
friend.
Great golfer, good friend.
Okay. Love Aaron Glenn. Okay. I talk to him whenever it's viable. All right. Okay. I love Aaron Glenn. Okay.
It might be viable soon.
Okay.
Green sweatshirt.
You're wearing green?
Yeah.
Mine was for Christmas tree.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Listen.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought he was going to continue after that. But yeah, the Carr brothers. That's what everybody needs in their life, the Carr brothers. It goes beyond sports, though, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of the comedian Theo Vaughn?
No.
Theo Vaughn has a podcast, so if you wanted to get to know him, there's a podcast out there, and he had on a very big guest. RFK, the head of the Department of Health and Human Services. And if you were listening, this is what you got out of that over the last 24 hours.
And I said, I'm not scared of a germ. You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats. And I know this disease will kill me. Right. Like if I don't.
So there you go. This is the deep sea research that I did. There are way too many podcasts out there. The bubble has to burst soon. It is so frustrating as somebody who puts together content every single day to serve an audience, and you have these people who have infinitely more followers than we have because of their status and notoriety that start these podcasts. They flood the space with their content that is 90 to 95% hot trash. None of this is worthy of a listen, but it'll get them because it's Brady and it's Paul and it's Theo Vaughn and the Cars, and it's just a waste of time. Why?
See, I don't mind those podcasts, or at least most of them. All right, I don't mind those podcasts. Like, you know, if you've got RFK Jr. on talking about sniffing cocaine off a toilet seat, okay, to me, that's pretty interesting. All right. You have Tom Brady on. I don't care if he's talking a bunch of nonsense. At least it's Tom Brady. And at least these podcasts, I think the ones you just, played, I think they're all pretty popular and probably making money. What bothers me is when you have low to, anonymous type athletes doing podcasts who make no money, and they'll have the same sort of nonsense, but they're not getting downloads. They're not making money. Why are they doing this? There are so many people out there doing podcasts who aren't making it. Like my daughter told me the other day, "Hey, Dad, when you retire, why don't you do a podcast?" I go, "Why would I do a podcast? I'm actually making money by talking on the radio. Why would I retire and quit making money on the radio to do a podcast and make no money talking?" That's what bothers me. People are making no money doing this.
I think you and I are actually meeting in the middle on this topic, because the clips that I played for you are from podcasts that are I don't know what they're generating, but I'm sure they are generating some substantial revenue, and they're actually making money because of their volume of downloads and listens and streams and all of that stuff. But what it creates is this copycat mentality out there, because anybody can do it. When I first got into radio, which in the grand scheme of things was not that long ago, you had to be part of a media company if you wanted to start anything that resembled a show. You had to. Now, anybody with a computer could start a podcast. That's it. That's the prerequisite. Do you have a computer? The end. You could go to, you could Google it, how to start a podcast. And so you have a lot of people that have been, if you're just talking about sports, a lot of former athletes, a lot of people that have played the game that feel like they have something to say. They have no media training. They have nothing interesting to say, and they all talk over each other. It's just, to me, it's a slap in the face, it being somebody who has worked hard to just be somewhat entertaining in media, that you have people that either have a big name that do make it work because of their name, or like you said, people on the low end of the totem pole that are just wasting everyone's time, including their own. I had to get that off of my chest. Up next, Bill Moose, the former AD of Nebraska, on why he didn't want Frosty. We got the audio next.
Now it's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Pay. That's pay. P-A-Y. Enter it now at 969thegame.com. And answer your phone if they call. Good luck.
This is the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. I've told you many times about renewal by Anderson. Nobody likes a blowout, all right? Especially when it comes to your utility bill. If your AC or heat is running nonstop, your windows could be the weak link, and that's where renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact windows come in. They're designed with energy efficiency in mind, helping reduce heat transfer and keeping cool or hot air where it belongs inside your home. You want crowd noise in the stadium, not outside your house, all right? Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact windows are designed to significantly reduce outside noise while also delivering top-level protection against Florida's heat, humidity, storms, and flying debris. That means a quieter, more peaceful home without sacrificing safety or energy efficiency. Every single day, Renewal by Anderson replaces builder-grade windows that didn't even make it a decade. And right now, it's free window February. Buy 4 replacement windows or doors, get the 5th free. Add 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 12 months, and upgrading really makes sense right now. Fibrex windows are twice as strong as vinyl and built to stand up to Florida's toughest conditions. Offer ends February 28th. Restrictions apply. So whether you're in Central Florida, the Gulf Coast, or in Jacksonville, visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets quality.
Let's chat real quick because I know a lot of you deal with this every spring and every summer. Your AC goes out at the worst possible time, right in the middle of a heat wave. You're trying to watch the game. It's your kid's birthday party, and then boom, everybody is miserable. That's why I've got Mills Air on speed dial. They've been good to me for years. They're honest. They explain what's wrong. They don't try and sell you on something that you don't absolutely need. I trust them, and I do not throw that word around lightly. So if your system's acting weird or you just want to get ahead of things, give Leon and Mills Air a call. It'll be the easiest decision you've made all year long. They've been around since 1992, and they've grown to be one of Central Florida's largest and most respected companies around. It's simple. Protect your investment. Give yourself some peace of mind in the process. Call Leon and the crew to schedule your appointment. Tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. The number to call, 407-277-1159, and online at millsair.com.
Incident reported Orange County I-4 westbound before the beach line. I'm checking the cameras now, not seeing if there's any lane restrictions. Crash blocking 2 left lanes, I-4 westbound before Parr Street, and lots of company on I-4 eastbound between Central Florida Parkway and Sand Lake Road. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Katie Wilkins.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Score major deals on top brands at Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Find your dream mattress today. Their sleep experts are highly trained to find the right one to fit your unique needs. They make sleep easy.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with Factory Direct Impact Windows from Reese Windows and Doors. At Reese, they've been installing affordable, high-quality windows for over 50 years, and most windows are installed in under 8 weeks. Get out your phone because now is your chance to win them for free. Just text the word TRUST to 20129 to win $25,000 in new windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Text TRUST to 20129 and good luck from Reese Windows and Doors.
Orlando Magic basketball lives here on 96.9 The Game, and your game day Magic coverage is powered by IBEW Local 606. Proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members with a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. IBEW Local 606 has been powering and serving Central Florida for over 75 years, and they are the dream team for electrical workers across this area. For more info, head to IBEWLocal606.org and go Magic.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping on. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
If you're in a slip and fall accident, time is not on your side. Stores have video footage that's crucial evidence in your case. You've got to act quickly. Call Farah and Farah so we can preserve it before it disappears. Orlando.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers Only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown, Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
This month, iHeartRadio is celebrating the stars of the 2026 Winter Games. Kewaskum, Wisconsin's own Jordan Stoltz is moving faster than anyone else on Earth. The young phenom has taken the speed skating world by storm, shattering records and dominating world championships across multiple distances. His rare combination of explosive start speed and endurance makes him a threat every time he laces up. Stoltz hits the Olympic Oval in Milano Cortina not just to win, but to chase world records. For more Winter Games gold, search Olympics on the iHeartRadio app.
It's the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. Okay, sports fans, it's time for some halftime adjustments, because if you're still driving an outdated ride, it's time to upgrade. Don Mealy Chevrolet in Claremont has been your truck headquarters for 50 years. Don Mealy started it all when he moved his family from Maryland in 1975, and today his son Jay carries the tradition on with transparency and trust. Right now, the deals are championship level. Lock in 3.9% APR for 60 months on a new Chevy Silverado. Got a growing roster of kids at home? A new Chevy Equinox SUV comes with 3.9% APR for 60 months and no payments for 90 days. And I was at Don Mealy Chevy just the other day, and Jason, the GM, told me, Bulldog, tell your listeners they can get up to $15,000 off Equinox EVs with more than 60 available. I test drove one of those babies, and oh my God, it was awesome. Visit Don Mealy Chevrolet today or shop online at DonMealyChevy.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Saturday's been part of your Valentine's Day with the Knights as UCF hoops on the game versus West Virginia. Tip time is 6 p.m. Hear every minute on your exclusive home for UCF Sports. FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the absolutely free iHeart Radio app.
This is Anthony Black with the Orlando Magic, and you're locked into Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Travis, I want to tell you how brilliant I am as a stock investor. All right, just it's sometimes it's just a gut feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been in and out of DraftKings stock for years now. All right, I'm intrigued by it with the sports betting, infiltrating the country. So I've been in and out of it. Well, yesterday, I had some DraftKings and the earnings report was coming out today on DraftKings. So I got to thinking, I go, all these prediction markets, sort of eating in the DraftKings profits and all this stuff. So I go, you know what? I'm going to sell this DraftKings stock before their earnings report comes out. Their earnings report just came out after market close today. DraftKings is down 14%. Yeah. So I unloaded it at the right time.
Wow. Buy low, sell high, they say.
Just on a gut. Yeah, you might want to buy some DraftKings. I'm not
I'll tell you what,
or anything.
I
want to buy some tomorrow when it's down about 15% at open.
Well, yeah. My money's a little tied up right now because I just bet Cam Thomas over 17.5 points tonight.
God.
As you
Based
were saying.
on what he did to the Magic last night.
Yes. Yeah. He does have OKC tonight, so his competition ratchets up a little bit, but no SGA. I'm not going to go through the whole reason, but anyway, I like Cam Thomas to go off again.
All right, so we talked yesterday about a new book put out by former Nebraska athletic director Bill Moose. He wrote his memoirs, all right? And in the book that he released earlier this week, he said that he did not want to hire Scott Frost as the head coach at Nebraska after Frost's magical season of 2017 at UCF. But he only did so because the donors in Nebraska wouldn't allow him to hire Chip Kelly. In the book, Moose said he interviewed Frost the night before UCF's game with Temple up in Philadelphia. It was at a sort of a secret interview at a hotel in Philadelphia. And he said Frost showed up unshaven and in sweatpants. Moose said that was a red flag. And he also said, Moose said that his wife told him that Frost seemed very immature. Those are Bill Moose's words. I said yesterday I thought Frost was intentionally trying to sabotage his own interview because he didn't really want the job. He only took it because he felt obligated to return to his alma mater because of all the obvious reasons. His old coach, the legendary Tom Osborne, wanted him to take the Nebraska job, come back and save Nebraska football. His old teammates, his mother and father lived in Nebraska. They wanted him to come home. And that's why Scott Frost felt obligated to come home. Moose was on a Nebraska radio station yesterday. And I think he said something that sort of confirmed my theory that Frost was trying to sabotage his own interview because he knew Nebraska was a bad job and he wanted to stay at UCF. So Moose had a conduit contact Scott Frost. I think it was one of Scott Frost's good friends in Nebraska. Had a conduit contact Frost during that 2017 season to gauge his initial interest in the Nebraska job. And this is just a little snippet of a clip that Bill Moose had on the radio station yesterday. Listen to what he says about how Scott Frost reacted to Nebraska's initial contact with him.
And there was no interest. He was appalled, Scott, with what was happening at Nebraska.
No interest. He was appalled at what was happening at Nebraska. He wanted no part of that job. Not one part of that job. And that's why he showed up unkempt in sweatpants with a stubble on his face.
If that is true, can you imagine?
Are you buying it now? Are you buying it after hearing that?
I never fully sold it. I never fully sold that. My take on it was more in between, that it was sort of take it or leave it. That he was happy where he was at, but he was going to take the job if offered it. But what you're saying is that he wanted to sabotage it to the point where they didn't even offer it.
Right.
It does sound a lot like that. I just wonder what the reaction was like behind the scenes from Scott Frost when they called and said, "We want to offer you the job." If he was like, "Crap."
Right. Scott Frost, I'm telling you, he did not want Mike Riley, the predecessor at Nebraska, to get fired because he didn't want to be forced into taking that job. And here's the other thing that sort of fits into my theory. The guy that Bill Moose wanted to hire, Chip Kelly, Scott Frost's old mentor. I think they had it worked out. Hey, you take the Nebraska job, and that way I don't have to deal with it. Okay. And then
Moose he got a bunch of pressure from the donors. They wanted Frost. You remember how hot Scott Frost's name was at that time?
The Gators the Gators tried to hire him.
It does make you wonder, a nice what if scenario. Scott Frost didn't want the job. The job didn't necessarily want him. Those situations are destined to fail. But if Scott Frost was offered the Florida job and he could stay in the state where he was having success and take that swag but make the money that you make in the SEC, he would have taken that job. You can't say no to the amount of money that they're offering. Mark
Daniels says no, but Mark Daniels is UCF through and through. But I don't know. I really do think Scott Frost wanted to stay at UCF. Now, if the Gators came out with a $7-8 million offer like Nebraska did, maybe
they would have. Maybe. Of course, they would have. Right. You've got to remember, this is not the Q rating around Scott Frost is not what it is now. He was the hottest young coach in college football. His team went undefeated.
Right.
Florida would have given him whatever in order for him to come in and be their coach. And what I wonder is if that would have worked. If it would have worked for Florida, if it would have worked for Scott Frost. Amazing how things could be different if different decisions were made. And different decisions obviously should have been made because nobody wanted to make that call to begin with. Crazy, the tangled web we weave in life. Up next, it's Polapalooza time right here on Game On.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
We see it all the time in sports. Teams, when they're going into a big game, they've got a plan. They are prepared. They know what they want to do, all right? Likewise in life, you shouldn't head into retirement without a game plan either. When I met with Trajan Wealth, they had a plan. I got straight talk, not a sales pitch. They looked at my entire financial portfolio and helped me build a strategy that actually works for me, not some cookie cutter formula. They're fiduciaries, so their advice is built around what's best for you because the more you make, the more they make. That's what a fiduciary is. I'm a client now because that is the difference, all right? Markets go up, markets go down. I just told you about the stock that I sold yesterday. The key is having a plan that can weather the turbulence, and that's exactly what Trajan Wealth does. Jeff Jr. is a Marine veteran who founded Trajan Wealth with that same code he learned in the Corps, Semper Fi. It means always faithful, and that's what Trajan Wealth is, always faithful to protecting and growing your financial future. Call Trajan Wealth today at 407-204-0300. Tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you, or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your free consultation. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LL Investment Advisor. Client, paid advertisement, additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need more than just a sign in the yard. You need a pro who knows the market, knows the process, and knows how to fight for you. That's why I trust Kevin Krager with LPT Realty. Kevin doesn't just unlock doors. He brings a deep knowledge of market trends, the latest home buyer programs, cutting-edge real estate technology. But what truly sets him apart, it's Kevin's strong background in construction. He knows what to look for so that you don't end up in a money pit. Owning a home should be an asset, but it only is if you know what you're doing and if you have somebody on your side that can help you with the process. From foundation to roof line, he's focused on protecting your investment every step of the way, and even after closing, his service doesn't stop there. Kevin has the resources to help with repairs or upgrades that you may want, all at cost to his wonderful clients. So if you want more than just an agent, if you want a trusted guide who knows homes inside and out, call Kevin Krager with LPT Realty today. Your future home will thank you.
Fox Sports Radio. Did you know we're on YouTube? Did you know you can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube?
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you are the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up. You got some holy water in your bag, baby.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd.
Wow. Covino
and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Oh, my God. Oh, boy.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube.
That's strong stuff.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just text Reese.
Protect your home with factory direct impact windows from Reese Windows and Doors. At Reese, they've been installing affordable, high-quality windows for over 50 years, and most windows are installed in under 8 weeks. Get out your phone because now is your chance to win them for free. Just text the word TRUST to 20129 to win $25,000 in new windows from Reese Windows and Doors. Text TRUST to 20129 and good luck from Reese Windows and Doors.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, are you ready for a weekend getaway that's got something for everyone? Then pack your bags and head to Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, just a short drive from Orlando, right there next to Claremont. Mission Resort is renowned for its 2 stunning championship golf courses. El Campeon, the Champion, it was founded in 1917 and is one of the most storied courses in the Southeast. Book your tee times, and when you check in at the pro shop, tell them Bianchi sent you, and you'll get a free bucket of range balls. But there's more than just golf. I love to rent a boat at the marina and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. And when the day winds down, relax at the spa or one of their fabulous on-site restaurants, including the newly opened Conquistador, born from Mission Resort's Spanish-accented past, complete with handcrafted tile, cowhides, and vibrant greenery, framing a menu of shareable plates, wood-kissed main courses, citrus-bright seafood, and garden-to-glass cocktails. Book reservations for the restaurants, hotel, or golf tee times at missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort and Club, your next great escape is closer than you think.
Score major deals on top brands at Mattress Firm's President's Day sale. Find your dream mattress today. Their sleep experts are highly trained to find the right one to fit your unique needs. They make sleep easy.
The Magic enter the NBA All-Star break with last night's loss to Milwaukee on their record. Orlando will visit Sacramento. That one's a week from tonight. The NASCAR Cup Series regular season kicks in tonight with a duels at Daytona. The twin races will set the field for Sunday's Daytona 500. And American Jessie Diggins claimed bronze today in women's 10-kilometer cross-country skiing at the Olympics. That's her 4th career medal. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is 3-time Pro Bowler Sean Merriman. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Rasmussen University.
Rasmussen University is where passion meets education, offering over 60 career-focused programs ranging from nursing and early childhood education to business and IT. Whether you're starting fresh or leveling up, there's a path here built for your goals. Learn more at rasmussen.edu.
Friday. UCF baseball is back on the game as the Knights open the 2026 season versus Siena with a 6 p.m. first pitch. Hear every minute on your exclusive home for UCF Sports. FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the absolutely free iHeart Radio app. We wait for this moment all week. It's a party. It's a bash. It's Polapalooza.
Polapalooza!
Polapalooza indeed, Mikey. Brought to you by Mills Air. If you ever need AC service, you know exactly who to call. We're talking about Mills Air, dependable, reliable, my go-to AC service repair shop. Mills Air has saved me countless number of times with approved credit. They make it easy and painless to get into a new system today. Visit millsair.com. It's time for Bianchi's favorite moment of the week, the scratch to his pole itch. It's called
Polapalooza.
Poll question number. Yep. Poll question number 1. Which of these NFL quarterbacks would you most want to roll into next season with? Baker Mayfield of the Bucks, Trevor Lawrence of the Jags, or Sam Darnold of the Super Bowl winning Seattle Seahawks?
You know where I fall on this. Again, I'm glad that Trevor Lawrence turned his career around the last half of this past season with my Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm very happy. I hope that continues, but I need to see more. I need to see more from Trevor Lawrence. Baker Mayfield tailed off this year. Had a great season last year, started off really good this season, and then went into the tank at the end of the year. What Sam Darnold did, what did he do this year? One of the leading passers in the league, led his team to the Super Bowl, led his team to 14 regular season wins after leading his team to 14 regular season wins last year. Give me the Super Bowl winning Sam Darnold. Easy. This isn't even a choice.
Well, according to the audience, it's a choice. I'll tell you what that is in a second. In reality, I think all of these guys are in a glob together after the tier of elite quarterbacks that you would move mountains to get on your roster, like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and those guys. Very short list. Maybe Justin Herbert is part of that just on sheer talent alone. The next glob are starters like these guys that you go, oh, Yeah, no, that's cool. That guy could definitely be my starting quarterback. I have Trevor Lawrence because I think he still has the most potential to turn into someone that launches himself into the upper tier. In reality, all of them probably never get there, but yeah, Sammy has the Super Bowl. 60% of the vote on Trevor Lawrence. That's where my vote is. Right behind him is Sam Darnold with 25%, and then Baker Mayfield in last place. Everybody's selling their Baker stock. He's at 15%. Poll question number 2. If you were running an NFL team and were desperate to land a quarterback, which would you be more likely to take a shot on? Tua Tagovailoa or Kyler Murray? The tough one.
Not tough to me. Not tough to me. I mean, come on. Kyler Murray is at least mobile. All right. He can at least run around. Yeah, he got hurt this year, but Tua Tagovailoa is, got concussion issues. He can't move around in the pocket. He's gun shy back there. Kyler Murray, to me, is obviously been a disappointment, but I would still take Kyler Murray because, A, I think he'll stay healthier than Tua, and B, he can at least make things happen with his legs.
My, perception not meeting reality there. Since 2021, this is the amount of games that Kyler Murray has played. 14, 11, 8, 17, and 5. He has not been available either, but I agree with you. Give me the mobility of Kyler Murray. And he's also winning the poll. 74% of the vote on Kyler Murray, 26% on Tua. Next up, after watching the Magic struggle to string wins together pre-All-Star break, which, by the way, Mike, the Magic did not win 4 games in a row at any point in the season before the All-Star break. They finally had a chance to do it against Milwaukee last night, and they fell short. So still no 4-game winning streaks on the season. Back to the question. Where do you think their season comes to an end? Is it in the play-in? Is it in round 1 of the playoffs? Round 2 of the playoffs, or in the conference or NBA finals? That is one option because we only had 4, and I also don't think it's going to win, so I put them together. So where do you think their season ends?
I'm still holding out hope. I've got high hopes. I've got high hopes. I'm going to be somewhat optimistic. I still believe that this team, knock on wood, if it stays healthy in the second half of the season, and right now they're fully healthy for the first time in a long time, if that continues, I think they will exit the NBA season in the second round of the playoffs.
So let's walk through this for a second. If they're not able to grab hold of a non-play-in spot, they're going to have to play their way in. I think they can win those games. Hopefully they don't end up playing Charlotte, because that's all of a sudden one of the better teams in the NBA. So let's say they win in the play-in, which I would expect them to do. Then they're either
they're not going to be in the play-in. They'll be a 5 seed. Okay?
Who's to say? Toronto's not going anywhere. The Cavs aren't going anywhere. Philly's only getting better.
Yeah. Philly looked real good last night.
Well, they've won 6 of their last 10 still. You can't judge off a snapshot of the season, Bianchi. Okay.
I'm just telling you, the Magic, now that they're fully healthy, I think they're gonna gain some momentum. Now, obviously, it didn't happen last night, but
you don't say.
I think it will.
Well, let's say they finish in a 7 or 8 spot, then they would take on the 1 or the 2 seed. That's going to be some combination of the Pistons, Celtics, and Knicks. That likely leads to a first-round exit. That's the way that they need to have a higher seed, and the momentum has to be carried through winning a playoff series. I'll say round 1 of the playoffs. Bianchi says round 2, and the play-in is winning the vote right now of when their season ends. 47% of the vote, 38% on round 1 of the playoffs, and then the other 2 are tied for 8%. You actually have people voting on the conference and NBA finals. You think you're optimistic. Which NBA All-Star Weekend event are you most looking forward to? Is it USA versus the World, the Slam Dunk Contest with Jace Richardson,
oh God,
3-point shooting competition, or the Rising Stars Challenge?
I'm definitely looking forward to the three-point shooting competition because it has a bunch of stars in it, like Damian Lillard making an appearance in the three-point shooting contest. But for the first time in a long, long time, I'm actually looking forward to the All-Star game itself. This World versus the USA format, I think the players are going to play harder. They're going to be playing for not just their team's, their country's pride, but their style of play's pride. I think this is going to be phenomenal. We're going to be talking next week about what a great format this is.
I lack so much confidence in this being the thing that fixes the NBA All-Star game that we took Monday's show off, so we won't even be here to break it down the day after, but we will see if it becomes a topic on Tuesday. The slam dunk contest I will only watch because Jace Richardson is in it now. Otherwise, I would have probably skipped that. The three-point shooting contest is fine. I love the Rising Stars Challenge. I think it's the best. It is quietly the best event on All-Star Weekend, and you can laugh at that all you want. You've got young, up-and-coming players in the league that actually try, and I love the format of the G League is in there playing against NBA guys. It's fascinating to me. Con Knippel's going to be on full display. He's been a fun rookie. I wish Cooper Flagg was healthy because then he would be a part of this, but my vote is Rising Stars. 35% of the vote on the slam dunk competition. Still, it is amazing. No matter how much this event has fallen off, people still love it. Even though they say they hate it, they still love it. Three-point shooting contest is third, actually. So it's slam dunk, USA versus the world, three-point shooting, and then my vote, I might have been the only person that voted on the Rising Stars Challenge. Poll question number 5, we'll wrap at this. What is the proper penalty for hitting reply all on a company or department-wide email? I don't know if you've seen that recently, Mike, but we've had some reply alls on some questions asked by sales and management, and nothing frustrates me more than the reply all. There's a regular, just reply to the person. There's a button right next to it. There's no excuse for this. I think there's a special place in hell for these people. Public shame, suspension, immediate dismissal, or nothing. Those are your options. How should this be handled for the reply all?
The only thing more annoying than the person who hits reply all is the fantasy football text message thread in the middle of the work day
or any point of the day.
Yeah, well, we're actually working, and some of these other guys are sitting at home, eating peanut butter out of the jar, texting each other. So, but we actually had one last week, I believe it was, at iHeart, where they actually said, please don't hit reply all, and somebody still hit reply all. For that, that's a firing offense. Okay,
immediate dismissal.
If it says don't hit reply all and you still do, then that's a firing. But otherwise, just good public shaming.
I'm with Mike. I think this is immediate dismissal. Public shaming wins the poll at 68% of the vote. Bob Herrig, renowned golf writer, is going to join us right around the corner. Don't go anywhere.